Hollyoaks unleashes explosive twist as Jez and Liberty go public, while Dodger vows to unmask a killer. Hollyoaks is no stranger to explosive drama, but next week's episodes take the chaos to shocking new heights as Jez Blake and Liberty Savage take their controversial affair from secret to public, leaving their family stunned, relationships shattered, and a dangerous serial killer one step closer to being exposed. The tension has been building for weeks, with Jez's web of deceit growing thicker with each passing episode. What started as a manipulative ploy to hide his murderous secrets has now spiraled into a deeply twisted romance with Liberty, all while the village reels from the aftermath of multiple murders, a wedding ruined at the altar, and an emotionally fragile John Paul spiraling into relapse. Now, Hollyoaks viewers are bracing for impact as Jez takes his biggest risk yet, proudly and publicly claiming Liberty as his new love, while Dodger begins to close in on his cousin Dennis's mysterious death. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the fallout promises to change the village forever. A relationship built on deception. Jez Blake's supposed feelings for Liberty Savage were never genuine, at least, not in the beginning. It was a calculated lie, a distraction designed to prevent Liberty from discovering the truth, that Jez is the man behind a string of cold-blooded murders. But something strange happened along the way. The lie became real, or did it? As the truth danced dangerously close to the surface, Jez doubled down, seducing Liberty into a secret affair that grew darker and more passionate by the day. What began as emotional manipulation morphed into a toxic connection laced with obsession, denial, and blurred morality. Liberty, driven by years of heartbreak and a desperate longing for love, fell fast. But despite being hopelessly drawn to Jez, she harbored doubts, ones that would soon force Jez into yet another twisted performance. A wedding in ruins, a life stolen. This week, the drama reached a boiling point. Jez was set to marry John Paul McQueen in what should have been one of the happiest days of their lives. But lies have a way of catching up, and for Jez, the altar became a reckoning. John Paul, tired of the secrecy and suspicious behavior, called off the wedding in front of stunned guests. The pain of betrayal cut deep, and the humiliation ignited a destructive chain reaction. With his web of lies unraveling, Jez made a horrific decision to protect his secrets. In one of the show's most shocking scenes in recent memory, he murdered young Bobby Costello, Mercedes' son, in cold blood to silence him permanently. The emotional weight of this act has cast a dark cloud over the village. And while Jez tries to maintain his charm and control, cracks are forming everywhere. Liberty torn between love and logic. In the aftermath of Jez's broken engagement, Liberty remains caught in a dangerous emotional whirlwind. Her love for Jez is undeniable, but her instincts warn her that something is off. Next week, she reaches out to him, not just out of affection, but out of concern. With his life falling apart, Liberty checks in, hoping for honesty. Jez, ever the manipulator, sees an opportunity. He makes a move on Liberty, leaning into their twisted intimacy. But this time, she pulls away. Her response is not out of rejection, but out of self-protection. Liberty tells Jez that while her feelings are real, she needs proof that he feels the same, not just words, but action. I need to know you mean it, she says. I won't let myself fall for another lie. It's a turning point. Jez is cornered emotionally. Either double down on his deception or risk losing the one person still loyal to him. John Paul spirals in the aftermath. As Jez turns his attention to Liberty, John Paul is left reeling. The collapse of their wedding has pushed him to a breaking point, and next week's episodes reveal he's slipped back into old habits, relapsing on the very day he was meant to start a new life. Saint Hay, his ex, offers comfort in a moment of vulnerability. But the lines become blurred when John Paul misreads the situation and tries to kiss him, leaving Saint both sympathetic and unsettled. It's a sad, sobering moment that underscores how far John Paul has fallen. A stark contrast to the confident, hopeful man who once believed Jez could be his future. The dog reopens, and Jez goes public. Amid all the personal chaos, the dog in the pond reopens its doors next week. It's meant to be a celebration, a new beginning for the pub and its patrons. But instead, it becomes the stage for Jez's most outrageous move yet. As Jez, Liberty, Sienna, and Dodger gather to celebrate, tensions are already high. John Paul enters the pub for the first time since the failed wedding and spots Jez across the room. Driven by a mixture of heartbreak and anger, he approaches to speak with him. But Jez is cold, dismissive, a man with no remorse. Then, without warning, he turns to Liberty and kisses her passionately, right in front of everyone. The pub falls into stunned silence. Sienna and Dodger, Liberty's half-siblings and Jez's estranged children, are horrified. The display is not just unexpected, it's a betrayal that fractures whatever fragile ties still existed in the family. From secret to scandal, with that one public kiss, Jez transforms his and Liberty's secret affair into something official, something undeniable. Liberty, dazed but caught in the spell of Jez's attention, goes along with it. Whether out of love or fear of losing him, she stands by his side. But Sienna is livid. "What are you doing?" she demands. "He's your half-sister's father. He's dangerous." Dodger is equally furious, barely able to contain his disgust. For him, the affair is just the latest betrayal from a father who has only ever brought pain. The family is shattered. The village begins to whisper. But Jez doesn't care. In his mind, public acceptance means power, control over Liberty, over his image, and over the chaos swirling around him. What he doesn't realize is that someone is watching, someone who's finally starting to see through the lies. Dodger sets his sights on the truth. In the wake of the shocking display at the dog, Dodger decides he's had enough. He walks away from the family drama and vows to focus on something far more important, finding out what happened to Dennis. Earlier this week, Dennis's remains were discovered, ending months of unanswered questions. But Dodger isn't satisfied with grief and speculation. He wants justice. Unbeknownst to him, the man he now suspects, the man kissing Liberty in front of everyone, is the one who killed Dennis. As Dodger begins to ask questions, connect dots, and revisit conversations, viewers are left on edge. Will he be the one to uncover Jez's murderous past? Or will Jez silence him too? The calm before a storm. As the week ends, the village stands divided. Liberty and Jez are a couple, a controversial, confusing pairing that baffles even those closest to them. John Paul, broken-hearted and ashamed, faces the uphill battle of recovery once more. Sienna and Dodger have declared war on their father and sister, unable to accept the madness unfolding before their eyes. And behind it all, the truth of Jez's crimes inches closer to the surface. What comes next in Hollyoaks? Hollyoaks has always thrived on secrets, betrayals, and complex family dynamics, but this storyline has elevated the stakes in jaw-dropping fashion. With Jez now boldly flaunting his relationship with Liberty, his manipulations are more dangerous than ever. Will Liberty continue to stand by him once she learns the truth about Bobby? About Dennis? About the trail of blood he's left behind? Will Dodger's investigation lead to a dramatic showdown that finally exposes Jez as a killer? Or will Jez strike again before anyone can stop him? One thing is certain. Hollyoaks fans are in for a rollercoaster ride of deception, romance, heartbreak, and dark revelations. Stay tuned, because in this village, love can be deadly, and the truth always comes out, eventually.